Hi beautiful, welcome to my channel. In today's video we have a palette review and I plan on doing 3 different looks with this one. Glaminatrix Cosmetics just released this new palette. It is called the Barely Basics palette. It is now available on their website, I believe for pre-order, or maybe it already launched. Definitely check it out. I do have a discount code with them. If you're interested, you can save 10% with my code PATTY10. Anyways, let me go ahead and show you the inside of this palette. Take a look right here. I absolutely love a basic color story, and this one actually has a bit of an elevated basic color story because you do have cool tone neutrals, you have olive shades, you have warm shades that are perfect for the fall time, and then this beautiful rosy mauve row right here. Besides that, they made it in a format which I absolutely love. Each row has 3 mattes and 2 shimmers. You can of course go all over the palette to create your eyeshadow looks with, but I think it's perfect that they kind of lay out 4 different quints for you in this format. So you could just use the mauve row, you could just use the cool tone row, just the green row, or just the warm row, and create beautiful eyeshadow looks with each row. And the way you do that is the lightest color right here will always be the color on the crease of your eye. Then you can darken it up a bit with the middle color, smoke it out with the darkest matte. This row of shimmers right here is always the shimmer right in the center of the eyelid for each look, and then this row of shimmer is of course the inner corner shade. I absolutely love this palette layout. The first time they did it was with the Pretty in Pastels palette, which also has like 4 different color stories. It's laid out the exact same way. I did looks with this one as well in the way that I just told you about, and I absolutely love it. In fact, whenever I pick this palette up, that's usually the way I use it. I don't actually usually go all over the place with it. I just feel like it's very intuitive to create your eyeshadow looks that way. This one, by the way, for the spring and summertime has been perfection. I absolutely love this palette. And Glaminatrix, as you will see with the swatches and the eyeshadow looks, or if you've seen me review them before, you know this, they have incredible quality. I'm going to begin with the swatches, and instead of going across the way I would usually go with my palette, I'm actually going to go vertically because that way I can swatch the color stories together. So I'm going to start with these mauve colors here. I just realized that this first row of shimmer shades seems to be iridescent duochrome shimmers, because this looks really beautiful and very intense. And then these right here are just very highly foiled metallics. Anyways, here is the shade OOTD, which as you can see is highly reflective, and it's got sparkles that are greenish gold and also pearly white sparkles. In the camera you guys see blue as well, which I don't see when I look at it. So like I said, it's a multi-chrome shade. The second shimmer is called Hashtag, which as you can see is a very foiled, beautiful metallic rose shade. Love it. And then the mattes are Legging, Like, and Holy Grail, which is this very intense, beautiful burgundy. So check it out right here. This is the first quint, if you will, from this palette. It looks absolutely stunning, and do you guys see the intensity and the pigmentation of these matte shades and how beautifully reflective the shimmers are? When I tell you Glaminatrix Cosmetics has amazing quality, they have amazing quality, okay? Let's go for the second quint, starting with the shimmers. Of course, the first one is called FYP. So take a look right there. Slightly different undertone from the one in the first squint, as you can see. And then the second shade is called Viral, which is this absolutely stunning coppery shimmer shade. Let's go ahead and swatch the mattes. We have Pumpkin Spice, we have Comments, and we have Review right here. So as you can see here, we have our second quint. This is going to be fantastic for the fall time. I'm definitely going to create a look today using these shades because I'm excited about them. I'm going to create 3 looks, so one of the quints is going to be left out. I just don't know which one I'm leaving out yet. I'm going to decide once everything is swatched. I'm going to switch hands now, and let's go ahead and swatch the olive quints. These shimmers are so insane. So here we have the shade Get Ready With Me. Then we have Engagement, which is this absolutely stunning lime green, just spectacular shimmer. Definitely going to be using this quint as well. And then here are the 3 mattes, which are the shades Scrunchy, Subscribe, which if you guys are not subscribed to my channel yet, here's a good reminder. And then the third one is called Haul, which is this absolutely stunning dark green shade. So take a look right there. So lastly, let's do the cool tone one. The first shade is called DIY. The second shade is called Follow. It's a stunning champagne, super highly foiled shimmer. So pretty. This is going to be so pretty on the eyes. Let's go ahead and swatch the mattes. We have the shade Girl Dinner. We have the shade Share. And we have the shade Looks. Let me intensify this one. This is the lightest shade, and that one a little bit. Alright, so take a look right here at the last quint swatched. I think now that I am looking at everything that I'm going to create looks using everything except for the mauve quint, just because I feel like these are the more common shades. A lot of rosy palettes release all the time, so I think I'm going to use the rest of the shades for today's video. However, you guys know I absolutely love those types of shades, so I will use that eventually. I'm going to do looks 1, 2, and 3 in that order. So get a little closer. I'm going to start with the crease shade, which is going to be Pumpkin Spice, of course, and I'm using a Rephr number 15 brush. With my fluffy brush, I'm just going to add that color all throughout the crease of my eye. I do, as you can see, already have mascara on. I might do some lashes after we're done. And this Pumpkin Spice color is nice and soft, the perfect transition. So I'm just blending it through the crease. With the Rephr number 1, I'm grabbing the shade Comment next. And with this one, I'm going to intensify the outer third of my eyelid. I'm bringing it up through the crease ever so slightly by buffing it back and forth with my Rephr number 1 brush. And you could leave it at this level of intensity. This is nice and intense already. This is a very decent smoky eye, but we will use all the shades. So I will make it even more spicy, a little more intense in a second. With my finger, I'm going to grab the shade Viral, and I'm going to tap it right through the center of the eyelid here. Just tapping it in place right there. That looks so pretty. Then with a small flat brush, this is a Rephr 02 Mini, I'm going to grab the shade FYP, and I'm going to focus that shade right on the inner third of the eyelid. I'm also going to define the eyelid with it a bit. I'm adding it to the innermost corner of the eye as well. And I'm bringing it in like halfway through the crease so that it defines my eyelid higher than where my eyelid actually folds, so that the eye looks a bit bigger. So I just run the brush through all the way. I grabbed a bit of the shade Viral with the same brush just to mix it right here through the center. That looks so freaking pretty. I love it. Rephr number 13 and Comment once again. And I'm going to smoke out my lower lash line with it. This eyeliner right here has become a favorite of mine. I want to use it every single time I do my makeup. It is Cocoa from Laura Mercier, and I highly recommend it. It's a beautiful, warm, dark brown. It has incredible pigmentation, but my favorite thing is definitely the warmth in the very dark shade. It complements so many eye looks. So I added that one to my waterline. And now for the smokier shade, this is a Rephr number 3, and I'm going to grab the shade Review. And I'm going to add it on the outer third of the eyelid back here and just buff it to make things a little darker. Also adding it right underneath my lower lash line on the outer third back here, and a little more on the outer third of my eyelid. And I'm buffing it upwards so that it mixes with the rest of the shades. Back to my Rephr number 3, and I'm just going to make sure everything blends nicely. Take a look right there. I know this is a very basic smoky eye. I know that I do this type of look a lot, but it's just my favorite. It's my go-to. And these colors are so easy to work with, so pigmented, so shimmery. I absolutely love them. And this is what the eye look would be like with mascara on. So let's go ahead and jump to the next eye look, and then I'll do some lashes so you can see them a bit more glamorized, if you will. First step, we're going to do the shade Scrunchy, which is the lightest green, once again on the Rephr number 15, and blend that shade all throughout the crease of my eye. So just back and forth, blending. This shade is nice and pigmented even for a very light green shade. And I'm bringing it all the way to the inner corner here, and just buffing the shade back and forth. Rephr number 1 in the shade Subscribe next. And I'm going to tap it on the outer third of the eyelid and blend it up into my crease, back and forth up here. Beautiful. I'm actually, because it's not that smoky yet, like it's a little darker than the transition color, but it is not smoky. So I think with the Rephr number 1, I'm going to go into the smokiest shade, which is Whole, right down here. And I'm going to add it to the outer third of the eyelid. This one is very smoky. Also buffing it right underneath my lower lashes and mixing it with the rest of the green shades. Still using my Rephr number 1. Now that I don't have any more product left in it, I am going higher so that the product blends into the other shades. I love it. Grabbing the shade Engagement next, and I'm going to add this one to the center of my eyelid. Just tapping it in place with my finger. Tap, tap, tap it. Back with the Rephr number 1, nothing added. I'm just tapping the edge so that the shimmers kind of mix a little better with the mattes. And with a small flat brush, this is the O2 Mini, the number 29 I believe from Rephr. It's very similar. I'm going to grab the shade Get Ready With Me. And this is going to be the inner corner shade, and also the shade on the inner third of my eyelid. As you can see, it has a beautiful green iridescence to it. With my Rephr number 13, I grabbed the shade Scrunchy, and I'm going to run that shade all throughout my lower lash line, all the way to the outer corner back here. I grabbed a little more of the shade Whole, which is the smoky green color, on a Rephr number 3. And I'm going to intensify the outer third of my under eye. I had a little bit of fallout, as you can see, so be careful with it. Maybe do your eyes before you do the rest of your makeup. And for my waterline, I'm going for a forest green eyeliner. This one is from Glossier in the shade Fresco. Super pigmented dark forest green eyeliner. And so this right here is the finished green look with mascara on. So here are looks 1 and 2 with mascara. I went ahead and put some lashes on. These are Rebel lashes from Kiss in the style Downtown Girl. So take a look right here at the finished looks. Here's look number 1 and look number 2. I think between those two, I like the green look a little better because it's more shiny. I love shiny eyeshadow. Anyways, let's go ahead and move on to the third one. Took off my eyeshadow. I reapplied some concealer as a base, and on my waterline on both eyes, because I am going to do the same eye look on both eyes this time, I have the Laura Mercier Cocoa eyeliner already on. So we are starting with a base color, which is the shade Girl Dinner right here. And of course, I'm going to be using the Rephr number 15 brush to buff this one all throughout the crease of the eye. And I'm just kind of being sloppy with it, using it as a base and also sort of as a powder to set my concealer with. And I am going to apply it all the way to the brow, because this is a good highlight color for under the brow. With the Rephr number 1, I'm going to grab the color Share, and I'm going to add this one on the outer third of my eyelid. And with whatever's left on my brush, I'm going to bring it up to the crease, back and forth into my base shade. Forgot I said I was going to do a halo eye, so let me do a halo eye. So I'm intensifying the outer third color, flicking it upwards towards the tail end of my brow, And I'm not going to take it all the way in the way I usually do. I'm just going to concentrate it on the outer third of the crease and the outer third of the eyelid back here. Same brush, same shade, and I am going to also intensify the inner third of the eyelid and bring it up towards the crease over here as well. I'm grabbing a smaller blending brush and the shade Lux, which is the darkest cool tone shade, and I'm going to intensify the outer third of my eyelid with it, back and forth buffing the color in, also bringing a little bit of that darkness to the innermost corner of the eyelid. With the small brush in that same color, I'm going to intensify the outer third of the under eye as well, just back and forth darkening up the lower lash line. And now for the center of the eyelid, the shade Follow, I'm going to grab it with my finger and I'm going to tap it right in the center of the eyelid, going to the sides a little bit so that it mixes in with the matte color up to the crease. Whew, I love that. I'm going to just make sure that things look even on both eyes. Like I see this looks a little darker than this, so I'm going to intensify this outer third, and I'm using the Rephr number 1 once again. With the Rephr number 13 and the shade Girl Dinner, I'm going to make sure things don't look too harsh down here. So I'm going to run it through the lower part of that smoky shade. And then with my small flat brush and the shade DIY, I'm going to do the inner corner of the eye by just tapping that shade in place, barely bringing it in up here, just enough so that it mixes in with the matte. And with the tip of that flat brush, I'm going to grab a bit more DIY, and I want to bring it in halfway through my under eye. So this right here is the third and last look with just mascara on. Absolutely love the way this came out. I'm back. I put on some lashes and I finished up the makeup with a lip liner and a gloss. This right here is the final third look with this absolutely stunning Glaminatrix Cosmetics palette. This Barely Basics palette, by the way, retails for $64 and you can get 10% off using my code PATTY10. It is absolutely stunning. I'm obsessed with how glamorous this look came out. I love it. So if you guys are interested, definitely check it out. You will not regret it. The mattes blend like an absolute dream and the shimmers can be seen from outer space, okay? I had an absolute blast playing with this palette today. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I love you all so much. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you back in the next video. Bye.